You suck!
Work sucks. I'd know. Have you ever just wanted to sell your soul for a quick buck? Well, lucky for you, there are 5 million minimum wage opportunities for you as we speak. All you need is your associate degree, ID, social security, bachelor's degree, the key to the city, 3 years worth of experience, a master's degree, your grandma's will, and something to motivate you to keep moving on. When I was 16, every adult told me that you can only be successful if you get into college. So, the job hunt begins. The first job I ever tried applying to was a local BK, only because one of my best buds had been working there. The interview went mostly well, but then they asked for my availability, and to put it simply, I thought I could have it my way, and said I wasn't available on weekends. The manager instantly ended the interview and kicked me out. My friend saw everything. Things were getting a little bit desperate. I applied to basically every place I could think of, but because I didn't have the requirements, I would constantly get shot down. And as we all know, money unfortunately doesn't grow from trees. But we sure do print from them. Finally, my pain was numbed, because I got an interview with the nearby raising Pains. Pains had just opened up near my high school, and since new places are desperate for the lowest of the low, I knew that there would be no way they wouldn't accept me. And they accepted me. I briefly did this online questionnaire thing to answer some basic questions. I of course had to make a new account, and because I was lazy, I decided to do those auto-generated password thingies. I wasn't gonna use the site again, so why bother? The day of the interview had arrived, and as embarrassing as it was, I was nervous. What if I was no value to this holy fast food place? Coincidentally, I wasn't the only one doing an interview. There was also this other girl. Manager one then comes around the corner. We'll call her Penny. She had a broken leg at this time, so she had her leg on one of those weird unicycle thingies and rolled to us comedically slowly. From what I recall, this interview went mostly solid. It wasn't until she asked for our login information and password so they can put it into the system. I wasn't gonna remember that password. I told my situation to Penny, and she did one of those fake laughs, trying to mask out how freaking annoyed she was. Yeah, good luck trying to guess that behemoth of a password Google randomly decided to generate. The tatted girl, on the other hand, told her that her password contains a little bit of profanity. We never saw her again. You're lucky. I had to awkwardly fumble with my 4-year-old phone to reset my password, all while Penny stared into my soul. Thankfully, everything got settled and I somehow got hired. Since I was 16 and had absolutely zero financial stability, I was paid via this weird gift card thingy. They were supposed to put everything on that card and were supposed to mail it to me as soon as possible. More on that later. The first 2 days went honestly alright, but I then realized that Penny and I were absolutely not going to get along. She was the textbook definition of a bootlicker and would become a completely different person whenever our boss was around. As if our boss was ever around anyway. One time I was told to take out the trash, which, by the way, was the most stupidly complex thing you ever had to do. You had to roll this awkward bin, removed the bottom half of the trash can, not the whole trash can, the bottom half somehow, very awkwardly with like this pin number, and then roll it off back to the outside. Penny saw that I was having a little bit of trouble, and without hesitation...
Ugh! I have a broken leg, yet I can do this stuff way faster than you. Ugh. This big...
Another fun Penny incident occurred while I was taking someone's order. While they were ordering like a Paniac combo or something, they also wanted something else but forgot to mention it. Since this was like one of my first days, I asked Penny what to do in this situation, and they told me,
ask them why they didn't order in the first place.
Okay, I guess. A few orders later, and something similar happens, and so I did what my boss told me to do. Why didn't you order it in the first place?
Did you really just say that? That's so rude! Oh, I'm so sorry about that.
Gee, I am so sorry for following your orders, ma'am. Man, Penny really isn't that great of a manager. It sure would be nice if there was another manager who was absolutely chill and was one of the sweetest people on the planet. Yeah, my other manager was worse, honestly. We'll call manager number 2, Pooh. Because man, she stunk. Have you ever wanted to know what working for the child of J. Jonah Jameson and Miss Benson would be like? Well, you're lucky for having that weirdly specific question. She would scream, demoralize, was somehow even more impatient than Penny. She once threatened to send me home after wearing the same shirt the day before, despite only getting one shirt. She was also one of those managers who would expect you to wipe down the same location for the 16th time the instant you don't have a customer. Every time I would clock out, she would also actively insult me, saying stuff like we'd be out way sooner if I was just faster at my job. So my first job, I couldn't really depend on either of my managers, and in typical first job manner, I kind of sucked. I felt like I would make mistake after mistake, and either one of my managers would just begrade me for that. The first job is always the toughest. And the customers like to make it even more tough. I once had got this big burly father to shout at me for trying to say I ordered him a small fry instead of the large fry, despite clearly having the large fries. He then said he'd shut up about it if we gave him a free piece of toast. Admittedly, I did some backtalking because his complaint was straight up stupid, and he probably just wanted to get free food from us. And you know what Penny did? She gave him the free food while Pooh yelled at me for not handling the situation properly. I get that you want the customer to be satisfied, but I'm pretty sure one can directly tell when someone is just trying to swindle the company for some extra food. I guess this isn't something to really be worried about. Everyone gets a bad day once in a while. My bad days were every day. I don't mean to sound like a weakling. I have continued to work long after this at various other jobs, but I'm just telling you the tip of the iceberg when it comes to pains. Penny and Pooh would always be above my shoulder, ready to either insult or demoralize me. Regardless, let's discuss my boiling point and what drove me to end my pains and suffering. After a long and grueling Sunday shift... Oh, by the way, our competition was with the Holy Chicken place that wasn't open on Sundays. Which, on that day, I was working by myself, all alone at the front desk. Thankfully, however, we only had about 20 minutes to closing. Sweet relief was around the corner. Wait, why is there a sudden vibration? Where did these people come from? So at the very last minutes, this group of like 20 people decked out in these fancy wearing outfits were here at our fast food place. I'm not sure if they were from like some church or these were actually fancy people.
But they were some of the rudest snobs that I have ever encountered.
The ringleader literally giving me his card and saying that it's going to be the most I'll experience being financially stable, and to give it back to him once they were done ordering. Everyone wanted this oddly specific item, and whenever I'd ring it up, they'd coincidentally change their mind. They wanted their food to be absolutely perfect. After what felt like hours and well after we were supposed to close, we finally gave everyone everything they wanted, and then the jerks finally left. And while I was clocking out, Pooh was standing right there as usual.
Tisk, tisk, tisk. Your performance was quite lackluster. You do realize that you are easily replaceable, right? This is your last chance, Gage.
Well, if I'm easily replaceable, then good luck finding replacements. Adios. Yeah, I wish that's what I did. I instead just peeped a measly, okay, and defeatedly went home. I knew I couldn't take this job anymore, and knew that I needed to get out. And after many thoughts about it, I called my boss literally 2 hours before my shift started, and I cut ties then and there. Which, looking back, was kind of a shitty thing I did to my coworkers. Nowadays, I would have just filed a 2 weeks notice. But at the same time, I felt free being away from all of that. I was finally released from the chains of pains. I wasn't fully free, however, because the 3 months that I have been working there, I realized something. I haven't been paid yet. Yeah, remember that gift card I mentioned earlier? They forgot to mail it for me. I had to respectfully communicate with the company, and after like 2 weeks, I finally got the card, and I got the measly so-and-so money on it. So, the gist of it, please stand up to yourself whenever you're dealing with a crappy boss. Because trust me when I say you are worth way more than the measly paycheck you'll make when you're working at a place that doesn't treat you with the respect that you deserve. And for anyone out there working in the line of duty in the fast food industry, good luck out there, soldier.